Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, our final show of the week. You're about halfway through the month of October as we kick off Q4. It's been a very volatile start in the month of October. We went from, I think, like pre-euphoria about a week or two ago to now we are sitting on a knife's edge, a cliff's edge, if you would. Here on BTC. We're going to discuss that and more, all of our favorite coins on today's episode, send you guys off into the weekend on the right foot. But I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker, Louie, and of course, Max. Welcome. Hope everybody has had a good week, right? Or really just kind of managing a manageable week, right? It has been, Bitcoin kind of sitting at support. Is this a range low dip to buy, or is this going to be, potentially the start of a larger downtrend? Before we can talk about that on today's show, you guys are going to have to hit the like button. I did promise yesterday we were going to look at soybeans, and then we didn't. So I am kind of embarrassed to ask you guys to hit the like button today, but I guarantee you today we're going to be looking at soybeans if you don't hit the like button. That's a promise. That's a pinky promise on my end. We're already looking at it right now. Don't make us pull it up again on this show. Let's hammer the like button. Let's finish the week strong. And we'll talk about obviously everything market related. But yeah, I mean, overnight looks like Bitcoin dumped a little bit. We're now kind of trading below the wick that was set on Coinbase in the aftermath of Friday's flash crash on altcoins. I think we are trading into the wick on Binance or Bitfinex. Is the wick noise? Is it not? I mean, you can look across exchanges. It paints a very different picture. I guess time will tell. I still think that $108,000, $107,000 level on Bitcoin should be respected regardless of the wicks. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of put up or shut up time for the bulls. They have to save this, or else you're threatening potentially a compression break from a range that we have been in since really July. But I mean, you could probably draw it all the way back to like May, even though, we have structure technically a little bit lower than here. But I would say it's not completely shocking that we're seeing, sorry, Butters just scared me as he tends to do. It's not completely shocking that we're seeing some altcoins kind of backfill their wicks, right? I will say like structurally, a lot of these altcoins are doing what we kind of expected, where they're not just like completely immolating back to the lows of their wicks as majors kind of retest these lower levels. And a lot of that is because most of the open interest has been flushed from these assets, right? There's not as much systematic deleveraging that can occur in these assets. So to that end, it's not surprising. I know when we look at some of these altcoins, the daily rate of change is higher than it is for majors, but structurally, I would say they're pulling back less than what we've seen from majors, at least so far this week. Equities are, I mean, I still kind of feel like they could go back and forth here, right? We did kind of see our first market structure break on October 10th, really since the lows in April. And I think the VIX continues to show a pretty impressive level of resilience as well. So that's something that we absolutely have to watch out for. And, I keep saying this in our Discord that really there are only two things that you need to be watching for as far as signal goes, right? Bitcoin and how it reacts between the range of 107 to 117K and the VIX. Because as long as volatility is staying elevated, it's going to be very difficult for risk to begin to move higher and to recover. So that's what I'm seeing right now, guys. I'd love to get your thoughts on the market. Obviously, it's been a very volatile last 1 to 2 weeks. It's kind of crazy how Q4 is already shaped up. But what are we thinking about the markets here? What are we thinking about this morning's move and anything else? Do we think gold is topped finally?
I'll address the gold thing first. All I know is that when you see videos of people online standing outside of like gold, silver, precious metal shops, like they're waiting for the new iPhone release, there's definitely some froth in commodities. That's very atypical behavior. It's still a freight train for now, but I think you also may look back on that, like lines around the block for people to buy gold and be like, there were some signs, like there were definitely some signs. Kind of like when we look back on previous Bitcoin cycles and you like see Tom Brady dancing with SBF on TikTok, you're like, there may have been some signs last cycle, you know what I mean? Or maybe we look back on this cycle and we say there were some signs, you know. But kind of getting into more of like the Bitcoin, ETH, altcoins discussion. I just went on a cook session in our Discord about this. You know, I think it's really clear to me that you should be a little bit defensive here, given how Bitcoin looks. That doesn't mean the cycle top is in. That doesn't mean you're going to die. That doesn't mean it's over, it's over, it's over. It just means that Bitcoin is kind of floating in no man's land. Like your range low effectively is like 108 to 110, depending on how you want to draw it. Okay. You are floating in the danger zone. Now, can they rip it from here? I've seen Bitcoin come back from the dead a lot of times, as we all have. But I think it may pay nicely to give yourself a little bit of protection in the event that Bitcoin does what it did in August of 2024 and, you know, March, April, May of 2025, where from its, you know, range high or even all-time high, it pulled back, you know, 30%, right? That's a pretty typical bull market correction. Now, there's a lot of people saying that the cycle top is in and it's over and we're never going to pump again. I see the vulnerability of this structure, but I also think it maybe is premature to suggest that like this is the cycle top and we're not getting above it for another 4 or 5 years, just like previous cycles, right? So, oh, Tucker, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do all that. So I look at all this and I say, you know, I would feel much better being like, I would feel much better deploying capital, you know, maybe some sideline capital. I also have some hedges on the board. I was pretty clear with our community yesterday about what I was doing. I took some risk off the board and I swapped it for some protection. It's already aging very well, but it's nothing crazy. Like I'm not like panic selling all these, you know, small caps. I'm not panic dumping everything. Like that's not at all the mode that I'm in. The mode that I'm in is Bitcoin looks vulnerable. If it does drop 30% like it has numerous times this bull market, I'd like to be able to take advantage of that opportunity rather than be sitting there praying that it recovers quick and coping, right? Which I've also done numerous times. We all go through, you know, we've all done that, right? So I just think until Bitcoin can reclaim, show some signs of strength and seller absorption or seller exhaustion, I think it's just like play a little bit defensively and be patient because right here, objectively, like there's not that much to be excited about in terms of how Bitcoin looks here, right? It was looking pretty good for a minute as the month opened, right? And things took a turn for the worse. And I think you just need to be like strong convictions held loosely. And right now, until I see some more signs of life, I'm ever so slightly defensive because of how Bitcoin looks. And I also worry, I put out a tweet about this yesterday. And if you're in our Discord community, you know, I was pretty clear about this. Like something that we saw in Q1 of 2025, so Q1 of this year when everything dropped pretty hard, is we saw altcoins front run the Bitcoin dump structurally and percentage drop wise. So all I'm saying is like what happened on Friday was a disaster, and I think it was way worse than it should have been. That should have never been allowed to occur. Like there was some shortcomings that were exposed, you know, from certain exchanges or market makers. Truthfully, it doesn't really even matter. It was a sell-off that was probably going to happen anyways, but just it shouldn't have been quite like what happened. That was too much. But it would be cyclically familiar for this cycle to see altcoins front run a Bitcoin dump and structural break. So that also has me just playing a little bit defensively, but not, you know, running away from, you know, the cycle, not calling like cycle top. If the cycle top is in, then I think we'll know more after a big drop and basically just buyers cannot get it off the mat, right? So it's like no one really knows if the market, like you don't, when you take a position, you don't know necessarily what the market's going to give you. You kind of have to recognize like, okay, where is the wind at my back? Is it being long or short, right? So which direction am I picking? Where is the wind at my back? You don't know if it's going to pump 1% or 50%. You don't know if it's going to dump 1% or 50%. That's not necessarily your job to identify like the magnitude of the move. You see what the market gives you. You can have your, you can have your inklings, you can use fibs, you can use, higher time frame support. I do all that too. I'm saying like right here, I recognize like if you're long, the wind is, blowing in your face right now. Like the wind is in your face, not at your back if you're long here. Now you reclaim, 114, 115, you might see a nice little spring up here, but until that happens, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good yet. Could it look good? Certainly. But I think you want to just be a little bit defensive until you see some signs of life. Honestly, I'll end my monologue there. I just, I guess I wanted to just kind of share my thoughts. Like, I think it could reclaim and look fine. But as of right now, I'm not that interested. It's sitting below the range low. Altcoins got massacred last Friday. And, if Bitcoin can find some legs here, then let's do it. Let's ape. But, I'm just a little bit cautious for now. That's all.
Little cautious for now, you say. No, I think that's the move. I think that's fair. I mean, I hadn't really looked at this in a second, this bull market support band, right? But it hasn't really. Why is it not all the way back here? I don't know where it went, but basically this whole cycle, it hasn't been the support. Where the hell did it go? Wait, hang on. Hold on. We need this. All right. If you look at 2017, right? Every time we touched it, we went up, right? This cycle has not at all been the same. We've fallen below it a few times. And those have actually been the, and it actually gave you a decent amount of time down here, right? Like, you had from July till September, you had from March until the end of it, you had like a month right here. So it's given good buying opportunities every time it falls below. So is this time different? Maybe, maybe. Like I've also got some protection on the board because it could be ugly, and altcoins performed pretty terribly in here, obviously, and didn't really catch the bid until this. So in my opinion, if you want to do that, you could wait until you got some chop in here and then just buy the confirmation. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I think it's a wait and see situation, but yeah, I mean, definitely ugly below 112. I think above 112, you're back, you're fine, but just given this bull market support band, right? Like, it has given good buy ops underneath it, and we are underneath it right now, so that should be considered as well. But yeah, I mean,
got to turn around here.
Yeah,
really got to turn around here.
It's pretty much got to be here, because you guys know, like, what I like to look at, right? It's like these are screaming like it could be cooked in the short term, which would mean like mid 90s. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I don't really want to be on the roller coaster, the altcoin roller coaster, if we're gonna go all the way down to mid 90s. Like, that's gonna be brutal, and that would be kind of optimistic, I think, given Tommy and Jackus's bias of like, if you lose 100K here, because there are some more levels to the downside, obviously, right? Like,
I saw the yearly VWAP mentioned. I think that's a good level. But Tucker, do you have the clouds still in your indicators?
I should. Hang on, let me put this.
Tucker, what if you take a spider line from the 2021 highs?
Yearly VWAPs at 97. From where?
The 2021 double top, kind of that like slanty double top there.
Let's do it. And then I'll put the clouds on. What, this?
Mm-hmm.
That?
Yeah, it's around the same.
I think
Yeah.
if we drop, we're going lower than that, honestly. Like, I appreciate that level, but I really think at minimum it would be like 90K if we don't turn around here soon.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting into that area. I think we're here, right? Like Tommy said, we got to move here. I totally agree. We need to move, right? In my experience, Bitcoin does like to move, like to make the move when it needs to, right? It looks like as if it's going to die, and then bang, it turns around. It really does push the envelope as far as it can. Before it reverses. I feel like we're at that level now. We really can't do another leg or two down from here. If we do, we are going lower, right? As the other guys discussed. But I have my levels as far as altcoins and Bitcoin and ETH, and we are very close. But right now I'm just giving it that extra little bit of time before I make any decisions here. Because in my personal experience, like when you get to these levels, this environment where it's like we need to make a move or we're screwed, we usually see the move, right? So holding on to that, but being well aware of the fact that if we don't make that move here relatively soon, it could get ugly, right? It could get ugly. So right now, still bullishly optimistic, but well aware that if we continue to slide here, probably have to make some changes to the portfolio and wait and see. Because I think if we do get a drop farther from here, it's going to take a while, right? It'll definitely take a while. It's not going to be like a drop and then a massive V-shaped recovery. I think if we're going to get a V-shaped recovery, it's going to be from these levels we're at now, kind of a quick save. But you start re-entering, your 2020, 2020, end of 2024, early 2025 highs from January. That's a slippery slope, right? So we need to make a move here. So I think we're going to get it, right? But I'm not going to die on that hill, right? If we start sliding lower from here, you know what? Just take whatever losses you have, or take whatever you have, do some restructuring. But right now, trying to hedge, if you haven't already, trying to place hedges and sell here without a little further confirmation, to me, is going to do more harm than good, right? That should have been done like a week or two ago. So for me, just sitting on my hands and giving this a little more time to play out. One thing I do kind of like seeing is that gold and silver, which have been ripping very strongly, looking like they might be cooling off, right? Like like Max mentioned, we're seeing droves of people of retail and normies lining up to buy gold. The chart had been going absolutely parabolic for weeks now. Tells me that likely that top is in, or very, very close to being in. And my question is, where is that money going to flow, right? All that money that's being made in gold, where is it going to flow, right? In my mind, it would make sense to flow into Bitcoin, right? So that's what's kind of keeping me a slightly optimistic, seeing gold starting to top here. Maybe we see those flows flow into Bitcoin. I haven't really dug deep into how Bitcoin reacts once Bitcoin locally tops, but from what I remember, gold usually runs first, runs hard. Once you kind of see it slow down and consolidate, is usually when you see Bitcoin start to go. So we're going to see, right? We're going to see, but yeah, definitely in that area where must need to see a reaction here, or things do get dicey. And if they do get dicey, I think it's going to take a while for this market to recover from something like that. So in my experience, when we're in this type of scenario, usually we do see the recovery, right? So kind of my thoughts, just holding the line here, giving this a little bit more time to play out before I make any drastic changes here.
Yeah. Well, I definitely see some merit in the in this level. Actually, I mean, you do have the yearly VWAP. You do have two pretty significant lines, in my opinion. So I'd actually be shocked if we didn't get a bounce from here. Maybe even retest like this whole structure. I don't know. Maybe keep going, never know. But like retest all of this basically. But yeah, I think 90, 95 to 98 is your best bounce opportunity. I just don't see why you bounce hard from here. Like you got some liquidations, which we're, bouncing back up from, but like structurally, I don't really see why you bounce from like 103, like I think it's mid 90s if you're looking for a bounce. But
I almost feel like Bitcoin has lured people into a false sense of like confidence that people forget that it's Bitcoin, right? We haven't had major drawdowns on this asset for 3 or 4 years because of an institutional bid, but we're losing momentum on a higher time frame. And that to me is confirmed if we break below the support level. I don't think the structure looks very good at all. To be honest.
But do we bounce from 95K?
Is that a yearly rolling VWAP? Also, I recognize that indicator, Tucker. What a throwback.
That's your indicator, brother.
That's mine. I've made new versions since, but I remember we were working on that one
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think I have that one saved. I mean, I clearly have it saved because I published it to you, but like I don't even know where it is. Like I made so many different versions, but
I mean, it's been pretty good, bro.
It's been solid, man. I mean, it's just a simple yearly rolling VWAP with a standard deviation cloud around it, but it ain't much, but it's honest work.
True.
Here's the thing. I think if you lose the yearly rolling VWAP and you visit the bottom of the cloud or somewhere near it, okay, then I think you probably bounce hard into a complacency shoulder. I think you can deviate the yearly, right? But I think if you go to the bottom of that cloud, then you're facing something like that. And I think for what it's worth, I think alts will rally on that complacency shoulder, just like they did last cycle. If you look closely, Tucker, at maybe go down to like the 1 or 2 day chart so we can see it a little bit closer and go to last cycle. Just scroll back there, okay? Put ETH down below and look at what happened on the Bitcoin complacency shoulder last cycle. Altcoins went bananas on that shoulder, man. Can you mark out where that shoulder was? Like the bottom of the Bitcoin shoulder, vertical line?
The bottom of the Bitcoin.
Oh, no, left. Sorry. The first top. Right there. Okay. Alts went crazy on the Bitcoin complacency shoulder. So, I mean, last cycle was a double top. I kind of view like the first top as more like the legitimate spot top, because the second top was really driven by perps. Spot was just hammering the ask the whole time. So I do worry just a hair about like if you were to break down on Bitcoin and they don't save it somewhere around here, I would worry slightly about this idea of, have you broken structure? Do you bounce up into a new high or do you bounce up into a shoulder? I think it would take a lot of time to figure that out, of course. But I think it's important that yearly cloud is really important. I do. And you can just base it off of the interaction, right, that we've had with it so far this cycle.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this was last cycle. Let me let's put it on here.
You know that you can copy paste indicators, so you can click on it and then paste it.
Wait, where is it? Why isn't it showing up? Oh,
I don't know. Oh, it needs volume, and the crypto chart doesn't have volume.
Okay. Let's go this one.
Here, click on the index. Let me just teach you something new real quick. Let me click on the blue line. No, on the chart, or you could do that too, I guess. Click on the blue line. Command C.
I just do that. There we go. Wow,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty nice.
It's nice, yeah.
Real nice. Okay. Okay, what was I gonna do? So weekly, like this cycle was just so insane. Like we just didn't even touch any VWAPs until May. For like a full year, we didn't even touch a VWAP. So I'm gonna take this off first.
What about 2017 though? Because I would compare this cycle more to 2017 than last cycle.
2017, we didn't touch them either. It was pretty wild.
Okay. Thanks, TradFi.
Oh wait, no, I gotta go. Well, how do I do this?
Just do like the Coinbase chart or something.
Yeah,
That has volume and should have more price history than Binance.
Everyone wanted the institutions.
That's clean, bro. That is clean. I didn't even know how clean that was.
That's okay. So that cycle, you rode the top of the VWAP cloud. This cycle, you've been riding the actual line, right? The actual VWAP. So a little bit different. Like you didn't touch the actual VWAP the entire cycle until it was over. Like that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the deal. I think they kind of need to save it here. I think we could maybe pause temporarily at the yearly. Tucker, do you have my VWAP spaghetti indicator?
Spaghetti, mate. I mean, probably.
It's published to all of our members, so like if you did that through Terminal, you should have it.
I don't know.
No, you don't have it, man. You don't even have all my best scripts, man. Because I wanted to point out to you. Here, let me just, since you don't even have my script, okay? Since you don't even have my script, I'll show you.
He was filled with your scripts.
All right, so here's the VWAP spaghetti. So it's got all the most important rolling VWAPs that I trade with. 30 days in blue, 60 days in red, 90 day, they're at the same level, but 30, 60, 90 day. 6 month is right here in purple, and then yearly is down here. Let me just remove the lower time frame ones for now. And we'll just look at the 6 month and the yearly. Okay. We are below right now. We are below our 6 month rolling VWAP. Okay. That is not exactly a sign of strength. And as you can see, as Tucker was showing you earlier, we've bottomed twice so far at our yearly rolling VWAP. That's actually a really interesting point. That could bottom the market.
You think?
I do think. I think if you went greasy mullet with racing stripes on the side and maybe some like line up in your eyebrow, I think that would bottom the market.
The eyebrow,
honestly,
is a lot.
Would you do that to bottom the market right here?
Yeah. I would.
Yeah. Okay.
The market doesn't bottom until I grow a mullet, so we're cooked.
You could grow a mullet, you just wouldn't have much on the top of the head. You
would just be bald head, and I do grow hair on the back, so I could just have a bald head and just a little tail, little mane.
Something back.
All right. So, anyways, looking at the looking at this profile here, guys, you are below your 6 month rolling, which is not the best look, right? So I think for me to be kind of more like, it's really kind of confluent with our range low ultimately. Like, so here is range high, here is range low, keeping it incredibly simple. You could maybe tighten it to like right here. Okay. I think until you're back in this range and above your 6 month rolling VWAP, you're just floating in between like this range and like your yearly VWAP. I don't really know, like, besides just speculating on like, okay, here's the wick, and then, a retrace to, let me reverse that, a retrace to the golden pocket of the wick, from the nuke. I don't really see like what you're buying here. Like, I think you're just kind of floating here, right? But I'll tell you this, if you see something like this and they just rip this thing higher from here and reclaim the 6-month rolling VWAP and the range low, that's going to start looking really, really bullish. But right here, it's like, you're just hoping that they don't, you're just hoping that it doesn't come down here. And I'm all for, specking a play, but, it just kind of looks awkward to me, right? It just looks awkward. No, I'm not a bear now, Manish. I'm not a bear. I'm just looking at the chart being like, there's not really like that great of support here, like I'd rather just see a range reclaim, right? So that's all I'm saying. It's not that deep. This just looks uncomfortable, like,
Well, Evan Casey is pretty bullish right now, Max. I don't know if you think that.
He is.
He is as bullish as I've ever seen him.
That changes everything for me. The GOAT, man.
I've grown to enjoy Evan Casey. He's a true bull.
Evan, man.
He's a true bull.
He is.
Crypto.
You have to love Evan, man. Like, you have to. What he represents, man, it's the animal spirit within all of us,
Yeah, for sure.
Tommy, you were mentioning something either earlier on the show or on your X, I can't remember, something about the Bitstamp Bitcoin chart.
Yes.
Is there some hidden alpha that we need to discuss?
There's no wick from Friday.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Is Bitstamp the premier exchange of choice now?
I think there's some alpha to it because, it's ancient whale driven in the same way that Bitfinex is.
Ancient whale driven? Is it really?
It's been a while since I've heard ancient whale spoken on this show.
It's good to hear it again.
It is good to hear it again.
Yeah, I mean, I just think when we talk about like what exchanges have the OGs, Bitfinex, Bitstamp, those are going to be the main ones. They don't have perps, I don't believe, on Bitstamp, so no wick. To me, it's maybe a better signal on market structure than something like Binance, where the wick went all the way down to 100K.
Imagine how efficient our markets would be if there was only spot markets, no derivatives, like for anything. Nothing. No options, no futures, no naked shorting. Literally all you could do is just buy and sell spot. Imagine that is like utopia, man. That is,
our markets would be a lot smaller.
Be a lot more boring.
Yeah.
You're probably right. We wouldn't have as much to talk about.
We wouldn't. Definitely not. Yeah. All right, what else?
I will embrace everything that leverage brings. I mean, leverage largely creates the inefficiencies that we see in crypto that we get to profit off of.
Yeah, that's true. Max, have your price targets changed for Pepe, Andy Wolf with this scam manipulation, or are you more bullish now? Nothing's really changed for me. Like, I'm still holding those bags. Like, nothing has changed for me. It's just a matter of like, I want to see Bitcoin not break down here, and it's just kind of sitting in an awkward spot. But I think if Bitcoin can get back above the quarterly open, then you're going to see ETH spring here very hard. And I think when ETH finally gets into price discovery, you're going to find out very quickly, like, what beta is going to be moving. And I think it's going to be the beta that I'm positioned in. So no, nothing's really changed. It's just Bitcoin looks a little to me here. I would just like to see some structural reclaims. And yeah, I think as long as these levels hold, then everything is totally fine, right? So I think a lot of people, they're kind of cherry picking like words that I'm saying, you know, like a lot of people they're very selective hearing is what it is. Like they hear me say like defensive or Bitcoin like floating in no man's land, and like just a general discussion about like what we're seeing in the market. And they're like, he's calling cycle top. It's over. You know, he sold Pepe yesterday. You know, then I start getting trolled online about how like I'm cheating my bag. And it's like I became a forced seller because of my debt to the government, because it was US tax day round 2 on October 15th. And I also owed property taxes, and I still own a bunch of real estate. So I had to let some bags go, unfortunately, at a really poor time. But like, trust me, if I was getting bearish, you would know. You know what I mean? Like this is just, it's just a discussion about being a little bit defensive until Bitcoin can show a little bit more life here, because it's floating in an awkward spot, right? That's all. You know, so I'm still holding my, you know, my big conviction bags, and I do very much so still think that ETH is going to go into price discovery this cycle. Like we were talking yesterday about this idea of like this entire cycle has been Bitcoin dominance dominated cycle, right? It's been a Bitcoin cycle. Maybe we get a flush, maybe not. However, it's certainly possible that like we now have an institutionally driven Ethereum cycle, and maybe the cycle does last well into 2026, right? It doesn't need to be reminiscent of previous cycles from a timing perspective, you know? So I'm still very confident that ETH is going to make a new all-time high this cycle and actually go into price discovery. And for that reason, I'm still holding my ETH beta, because those that are experienced traders, they understand what they're holding. 18 months ago, I took a huge bet in the boys club narrative, and how they've been trading for the entirety of this cycle is basically like a 7,500 Ethereum call, you know, 7,500 strike, Ethereum call. So super far out of the money, naked call that doesn't have an expiration date. For those that understand how option pricing works, even if ETH is moving up from 3K to 4K and you're playing the 7,500 strike, your calls are not going to be priced very well until you get closer to being in the money, because you're playing such a far out of the money call. So that's basically what's happened here, is that ETH has moved up nicely, but our 7,500 naked call, which is super far out of the money on Ethereum, which is Andy Wolf Pepe, haven't really started repricing to the upside yet, because we're still so far out of the money on our ETH strikes. So I know that's probably a lot of words for some of you guys. Some of you are probably like, oh, that makes perfect sense. But like, that's basically what's happening here. So when ETH goes into price discovery, you're going to see a rapid repricing of our super far out of the money ETH calls that are being placed in the form of ETH beta and meme coins on ETH, right? That's how they trade. That's what they are. So no, I'm not bearish. I'm just like, I want to see something from Bitcoin here, right? Give me a reason to not, you know, give me a reason to dump the little bit of protection that I bought. You know, it's just kind of floating. It's just floating in no man's land. But Bitcoin is the king, and it is also the king of coming back from the dead. How many times does Bitcoin look like it's about to nuke, and then like 2 days later, it looks unbelievable? Bitcoin's famous for that. So I'm just waiting, right? I'm just waiting. Got some cash, got some protection. We're just waiting. That's it.
Is that IBIT?
Yeah. How do you guys feel about IBIT here?
Draw a range from December highs to the Q1 lows, Tucker. Yeah, and drag it all the way across.
These highs?
Yep. Draw a range from that high to the.
I was just looking at that, but like, I don't know.
No, the other one to the left. To the left.
Yeah, but
right there.
Okay, cool.
Kind of works, yeah.
Reclaim that level. We look great. Don't reclaim that level.
Yeah. I just
Sorry,
think
buddy.
the only thing I don't like about it is this. It's like one last push. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it.
There's some signs of exhaustion, but
Yeah.
you know, if you reclaim that level and sellers get absorbed here, like this is the opportunity for sellers to break it down. I think if they can't capitalize on this within the next week, you're probably going to see a big bounce. Like they need to capitalize. They can pin it for a little bit, but like in theory, this should be like where sellers really step in if they're going to break it down, I would think.
63 and staying below 61. It's really the levels, I think. But yeah. I just don't know. I mean, you technically have a gap back here, you know. So and you did just fill it a little bit. Let me just make that.
Yeah, we there's also an FVG there on just the regular Bitcoin chart. Oh my god.
Oh,
I said it like that. Chat.
that was really.
But yeah, we did fill pretty much the last bit of internal liquidity on the daily time frame on this drop last night. So I like that. You know. So that's why I'm like, this is it, right? We backfilled all the liquidity. We're sliding, losing market structure here. It could be saved here. Any lower, not so much.
I would agree with that, Louis. I would.
Mm-hmm.
Not from Massachusetts. I don't know why I said it that way. Kind of just
Massachusetts thing.
I'm gonna call you somebody from Boston instead of somebody from New York.
I'm gonna
Get in
call
the
you
car.
Massachusetts Meat Stick. That's your new
Get in
name.
the car. Look at my chart.
Look at this. To be lumped in with Tom Lee Max is quite something.
Wow, dude, those are some legends there. I appreciate that. I usually don't get looped in with Tom Lee and Jackus like that, but I'll take it, man. I appreciate it.
Can we look at what Bitcoin tends to do when gold looks like it's topping? I think that's interesting to look at. I haven't done the back testing. I feel like I've done it in the past, just been so long. Don't
All right, let's do this. So when gold looks
since it started breaking out, like since it broke out from that range, like how has it looked?
you mean like when gold has these little tops?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a good one. That's a decent one. So oh. Okay, so we got one bad, two good.
Yeah, one right before we sent, another one we sent, this one. Yeah, down only. So
I mean, if you just look at the Bitcoin gold pair, it tells you everything you need to know, honestly. Bitcoin really doesn't move up. Like if the Bitcoin gold pair is bleeding, Bitcoin USD is very unlikely to move up in a meaningful way. So I think this is a useful study, but I think all the alpha is just looking at the pair, honestly.
somebody said use the copper to gold. I feel like we've looked at that and there just hasn't been signal in a while.
Well, that's down only.
copper to gold, put Bitcoin on.
Compare gold fractal in 1979. Tommy, do you know that one from memory?
Yeah. No, it's on the gold chart right now. What do you mean?
Tommy has every bit of price action from 1900 to 2000 memorized, every candle from every major index and commodity. I'm not even kidding. Like, I think he actually does.
It's true.
Yeah. Study Black Monday. very, very few.
Easy.
Study 1987.
Okay, so is it just this goes up, this goes down, pretty much?
I don't know if I see much there, honestly. I mean, maybe.
Down, we went up, we went
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, okay.
Opposite. So I don't know how much signal.
But we've been going up since 2023, and this has been going down, you know.
I know. See, it was positive correlation up until here, and now it's negative.
Tucker, throw up Bitcoin Gold, brother. This is the chart you're looking for.
All right.
Just so ugly.
Are you using the market cap?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can.
It's like a head and shoulders
If
top.
Bitcoin Gold needs to be going up for Bitcoin USD to be going up. Okay. I don't know how quickly I think this chart is going to resolve. I think it put it in log mode for me, Tucker. Would you be a gentleman? Throw it in log mode as a sophisticated technical analyzer. Draw me a range from last cycle's highs to bear market low.
Oh.
Can you draw me that range, Tucker?
I was reading this comment. Yeah, I can do that. Can you call me throughout the week and keep me updated?
Yeah, I'll be publishing Tucker's personal cell phone number. Just text him for anything you need, okay?
Yeah.
Just to talk.
Emergency weekend market check.
Yeah. Personal emotional calls.
1929 talk is necessary for the pump. I mean, we could do that. Tommy knows every bit of price action from that too. He could just narrate the story for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you actually draw like a range though? Could you draw can you actually draw the range, like range, high range, low, mid range instead of horizontal lines? Like, do you have a fib set where?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, like I know you're a manual range drawer, but let's do just like that.
Just like
yeah,
that.
Yeah. But then take your fibs off, throw the range on.
Oh, I gotta change the colors.
Talking about 1.5 and 0.
That's fine. Well, we're actually I'm gonna make all these black. We're actually at the 0.75 right now, it appears.
That's nice. To me, can you put that diagonal you had back on there, Tucker?
Yeah.
I just look at this and I say, until this chart reclaims that trend, Bitcoin USD, this is a further headwind for Bitcoin USD. It'd be very bizarre to see, Bitcoin USD chatting higher if this chart's breaking down. Because look at this chart. I mean, it looks like kind of a modified version of Bitcoin USD. This is going to be a critical chart where you're going to need to see this week's price action engulfed if you're going to want to see Bitcoin move higher. Like, unless gold literally just teleports to like 10,000 an ounce and Bitcoin, goes up a bit. But
you know what else is a relevant chart, Max?
SPX 1987.
Soybeans.
Now you guys are in trouble.
I promised.
Now you guys are
in trouble. My promise. They need to be hitting the like button.
You know what they did, Tommy, is they poked the bear lax is what they did.
Don't do that.
You guys just, we got 272 on YouTube. We got another couple thousand on X. You guys can't even hit the like button.
I'm gonna have to retire the Bear Lex mantra soon.
I mean, are we going to talk about the?
No, we don't talk about that. Just pretend that doesn't exist.
Those have a 50% success rate. Just so
Well, also a bullish point, Louis, is that when Head and Shoulders neckline is slanted like that, it's actually not as bearish as one might think.
Yeah. I also want, like, what does this chart look like another time where gold has gone parabolic? Because gold doesn't do this very often, you know. So
Let's see.
like the last time gold was really going parabolic,
Like here,
I guess, yeah.
like
What
when
was the chart looking there?
gold topped like right here, and then Bitcoin gold went crazy. Oh, what was
Didn't
it
look as
like
ugly, but
before that? Yeah.
So this is a great point, is that typically gold can rally first, but Bitcoin will rally when gold cools off. And this works even in like the lower time frames. So when I look at the current setup here, my point is that until the Bitcoin gold chart fixes this weekly's price action, fixes the weekly candle, you're just not going to see Bitcoin USD go bananas. Now they can do it. They can do it. But again, this is just kind of a further headwind looking at, can you scroll to the right a little bit, Tucker? Just a smidge.
Mm-hmm.
Until you see that amended, it's going to require a little bit of patience. So if gold is topped here, that's a good sign. But also it looks like a freight train. So I think you want to just be a little bit careful here as Bitcoin is kind of flirting with a breakdown. It could reclaim it. And you say to yourself, well, I know that Bitcoin USD doesn't really rally until gold cools off, and it certainly doesn't rally until the Bitcoin gold pair starts moving higher. If the Bitcoin gold pair, gets back above that trend line, we are going to rip face. But it is looking like it's breaking down, not like it's reclaiming it. But it can, it can, to be clear.
No, it definitely can. I mean, I don't really hate where it bounced from either, but
It's a wild chart.
It's a wild chart, dude. It really is. I mean,
Something else I want to, I'm going to just Tommy it real quick. You can keep that up, Tucker, and I'll bring it back. This is something I don't talk about a ton on the show, but I've got this Bitcoin strategy. It's an automated one from the Volume Fusion Pro. And if you want some of these alerts, we've got 3 strategies we publish for free. You can join. The link should be in the description below. It's been crushing it lately. This is not what you want to see. So there's some significance in this strategy with the 0 line. And also this kind of orange band right in the middle, where when you see the Volume Fusion Pro trend moving down like this, it just means that there's no bullish momentum, right? I've got the candle colors on so you can see it very clearly, right? So it went risk off here. Yellow is risk off, starts shorting, flips back long in here, gets above this line, right? This has been a little bit of a, kind of meat grinder as of recently, right? But it's pretty good at staying on the right side of the trend. And what we're seeing right now is we are below the 0 line and the orange cloud. Bitcoin's just kind of floating in no man's land. If this pops up, we're going to start ripping. You'll probably see Bitcoin, do this. Candles will flip green somewhere up in here. Okay. But right now, like the system that has a 60% win rate going back to December of 2022, the beginning of the bull market, is in a risk off position right now. It doesn't mean it needs to break down and it needs to be over. It's just on the 6-hour time frame. Again, this goes back to December 9th of 2022, the beginning of the bull market. It is currently in a risk off position, wins 6 out of 10 trades. And it just need to see something. That's all. So I just wanted to also highlight this, that like this strategy that we put together that has done very well this cycle is currently in a risk-off position. And it's not far from being risk-on, but it's not there right now. That's what I wanted to just show you guys, okay? And it's nailed most of the high time frame pivots. You know, it even went risk-off, you know, into the ETF news. You could see that price was still getting walked up into the ETF, sold off, got back above the zero line in the orange cloud, went risk-on, then risk-off again at the highs. Over here, you know, kind of really early stage bull market, right? You can see it went risk off before this big drop. Then again, risk on over here, got above the orange cloud in the zero line. Over here, right? You can see risk off for all this, risk on caught this move. So it's, you know, it's a strategy that should be respected, and I'll continue to kind of share it, and I will update you guys if it does flip back to risk on. But I'm telling you, it went risk on here at 111, and then it went risk off at 112 and has been just kind of risk off since. 60% win rate going back to the beginning of the bull market. Average win 6.5%, average loss 2.84%. So I'm just showing you more like we have a small headwind right here, and I'll let you know if it, you know, flips back to bullish. It very well could. But this is just kind of more further, like you add in, you paint the whole picture. Bitcoin, gold looking awkward, right? Bitcoin USD sitting below range low 7 days after the most aggressive altcoin flush that we've seen maybe ever. VIX looking a little bit perky, you know. Again, I just think you're battling some headwinds locally, right? And I'd be more than happy to see some reclaims, and, you know, very well could happen, but I'm just trying to show you guys what I'm seeing. That doesn't mean that it's, you know, guaranteed to happen. That's not what this is at all. It's just trying to provide you with all of the things I'm looking at so that you can, you know, use it in your own analysis and, you know, your own approach to markets. That's all.
Kind of looks like Bitcoin. When was that? 2023?
You're talking about September 2023?
Could be. Yeah, could be the time.
Yeah, that kind of choppy, like pre-bull market price action. It could be, for sure.
Yeah.
It very well could be.
What does Bitcoin look like against stock indexes?
Bitcoin against QQQ does not look great.
I haven't looked at that chart in months, honestly.
It's one that I focus on somewhat.
There you go.
It's kind of sitting at like the previous all-time high.
How's that?
I mean, that would be sweet, but I think you're probably best served just playing it like level by level for now, but that would be sweet.
Definitely would be. So would you say Tom Bitcoin QQQ?
Bitcoin against like the S&P or the NASDAQ?
I think the level you want to mark out is the previous cycle all-time high for this one, and then also we'll look at the Qs after. So it's like in this regard, you're bullish, but then if you draw a diagonal from like the summer 2024 lows, yeah, like there all the way through. So it's like locally concerning, but you're also on top of the previous cycle all-time high. So I'd say you're kind of in more like a neutral position, higher time frame.
Oh no, that's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, like that's not great, but you also are still on top of the previous cycle all-time high, which I think does count for something. And then if you look at the QQQ pair, Bitcoin QQQ, it actually looks pretty similar to that as well. Where you're on top of the previous, well,
you were on top of it.
You were on top of it. And then if you draw that same diagonal, Tucker.
Like
no, I would put it in log, honestly, and I'll put it in log.
About that
You don't
one.
need to do log. You could do that, but I like it in log.
Log's even.
But in log, you can drag that trend line all the way back to 2023. So
Like this.
I think that's a worthy trend line as well.
Yeah.
Like the
something
point is you have some work to do here is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Like you have a little bit of work that needs to be done across the board.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Wonder. Tommy, have you observed the move index recently?
I was looking at it yesterday, but it really hasn't been perking up yet.
Yeah.
Been looking at the VIX and the VVIX. It's been a while since I've talked about the second one.
I'm sure you have.
At least seriously talked about the second one.
dude, what was that? Was that the 10-year chart or 2 year?
Yeah.
2 year? That thing looks
It's
like it's about to crater.
It is. Yeah.
What does that mean for
It means we should go buy 2-year notes, as many as possible.
what does the 10-year look like? Also looks distributive as shit.
Yeah. It does.
No, I'm not worried, guys. I'm just oh, you guys are something else, man.
There's just no correlation here. It's just terrible. I wish there was something, but there's really not.
Yeah, not much there.
Yeah.
I kind of don't hate like a lower time frame rally on the 10-year here. I'm not gonna lie.
That's news.
Thank you guys. Thank you T2 for the finally a nice normal comment. Just
Max looks worried.
it's so funny that like we're here like on this show and I like see all the comments and people talk about me like I'm not here reading the comments.
It's all
if
fake.
people even do that in our Discord, man, they'll be like Max said this and I'm like I'm in the chat, like you're speaking about me like I'm not here.
Yeah.
I think people don't even think I'm like a real person anymore. Like it's like transcended being a human. They just like treat me like I'm some like idea that's like floating out there. Like the Max idea engine is saying this. Let's comment on like everything about him. It's so strange.
In before AI Max.
Yeah, I mean, people keep trolling me. I might just have ChatGPT replace me, for my mental health.
Yeah, I'm really starting to see why all the OGs leave after a while, trying to help people and give advice and stuff like that on the markets. I see why they leave after a while.
I see it too. Like, here's the thing: I'm never gonna quit. But like, when you're just getting like, when you're just getting like creeped on, it really makes you wonder, like, why am I subjecting myself to just getting like harassed by anons?
Yeah.
And like most people are actually super cool. I'll give them credit. It's just kind of like, so there's like 60 some thousand people that follow me, right? There's like 20 people that are just, they have no boundaries, no respect. Like it's so weird. And then there's like 60,000 that are really cool, but they don't really say much. They just kind of like follow along and like, are cool. But it's like the 20 people that are just unhinged seem so much louder, than they really are. And they're really in the minority, but it's like, I totally get why, like a lot of the accounts from last cycle that were like full of alpha, showing up every day, trying to do something solid, they just kind of get to a point where they're like, I think I'm good on this. And then they just kind of disappear, And I'm like,
because you can as a trader.
It's not a reach to like understand why people do that. I don't want that to be our story, but I'm like, man, like some of these people are it's just freakish, like, I had to make a comment on like my personal situation yesterday. Cause I was dude, I'm like playing pickleball last night, and I open my phone, and I've got like 100 notifications about like what a jeet I am, and like how I'm bailing on everybody because I had to sell some Pepe. I'm like, talk to the government for me. Like, you think I wanted to do that? Like I was a forced seller because I had a tax liability, it was the extension deadline. And I have to make a comment like to calm all these people down that like, it's so strange to me, it's so strange to me. I don't know. It's
You know what it is, Max? People without conviction hate people with conviction because they can't see it.
Yeah, I think you're right. You are famous now. How much did it cost? Everything. I don't think I don't think I'm famous. I think within a very small like backyard pond, I'm like a decent sized koi fish, but like it's a very like niche industry. You know what I mean? Like you guys know me, but like people in like my neighborhood that I'm friends with, like they don't get what I do. They don't even know, oh, you talk about crypto. Okay. Like we're just normal guys, which is the weird part because it's like within this industry, people know us, but like outside of it, it's totally normal. But like we come here and like people are like creeping on us. It's very strange. I don't know. I don't like that. It feels very like violating, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, I think all you really need to do is just kind of study 1987 and just relax. Everything's going to be fine. It all recovered after that. And everyone went quiet, especially Tommy.
What am I supposed to say, man? There's nothing I can say today that's going to make people feel better. So I've just been keeping quiet.
True.
That should be very, very concerning for all of you guys that he just said that.
Yeah.
That should not give you any sense of comfort at all.
No.
Bearlax is in the room. He's a 1,300-pound grizzly bear, man. And he's hungry. Feed the man. Let him eat.
I think Snorlax is like actually multiple tons in size. Hold on, let me get the exact number. Oh wow, no, you actually had the number almost right. It was about 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, no, you're big, fat, hairy grizzly bear, man. You are with an insatiable appetite.
Grizzlies get up to 1,600 pounds, Tommy.
What, Snorlax?
No, grizzly bears.
Oh.
Yeah, you're small.
I was talking about like the literal Pokemon.
Hang on, I'm working on something for you real quick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's also something too to note. There's literally not a single historic Bitcoin topping indicator signaling any sort of top.
What, like the pi cycle hasn't flashed yet?
Nothing's
I am
flashing.
skeptical that the pi cycle is going to work this
I
cycle.
am too. Yeah.
I agree.
I am, because of how long the ranges have taken. Where in last cycle, we went parabolic. Like Tucker, you were talking about earlier. Like we didn't even tag like a yearly VWAP for like 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
This cycle has been so much slower. Like long ranges, little spurts of upside. And it's a momentum oscillator is what it is. It's two modified moving averages. So I think given the pace of this cycle, I am very skeptical that it is going to work again. It'd be cool if it did, but I am a little skeptical that it's going to work again. But also to Louis's point, there are some other on-chain indicators that it would be very like different if none of them were flashing like cycle top. There's like 20 of them. None of them are even close, right? So I think it's probably pretty rare. Like it would be pretty strange to see literally none of the past cycles, on-chain indicators or oscillators or like holder analysis type of metrics work at all this cycle. Like it's not like half of them are on right now flashing risk off and half of them are, still risk on. It's like literally none of them are calling cycle top. It's always possible, right? The only thing that I've seen comparing this cycle to previous cycles in regards to like, is the cycle top in, that has any validity is the duration of the cycle, where it's like 1,064 days from like cycle top to cycle top or something, or bear market low to cycle top. So besides that one thing, I'm not seeing any of the classic like cycle top is in type of signs. That doesn't mean that it's not. It just, it would be weird to see none of them work. None of them.
Yeah.
Super cycle. Super cycle.
Super cycle.
The week actually doesn't look too bad at all. It kind of looks like a bull flag.
I genuinely thought we were all going to make it.
Are we drawing bull flags again? Here we go.
That's what it's come to, man. That's how bad the vibes are. We're just drawing bull flags.
That meme with the teddy bear. Unfortunately, the vibes are continuing to deteriorate.
Study.
Like that. Was that 160K?
Yeah, 155.
The real super cycle was the friends we made along the way.
Oh my goodness.
Super friends.
I met some great guys. I mean, these 3 guys on the show, they're not great. They're all right. They're decent guys, There's room for improvement, but like they're decent. Like I met these 3 guys,
Look at this.
Oh my,
Oh my God.
Tommy, can you put that as your profile pic, please?
I might have to.
Please.
I've got a really good profile picture right now of the Bobo Snorlax, so I'm gonna keep that for right now.
That's a good Parallax picture.
It is. Can you send that to me, Tucker?
I can make him like more muscular and angrier if you want.
It does. It's okay.
Can you make his eyes a little bit more intense? Like he's like analyzing a chart, just like, like waiting for zero,
Yeah.
And then maybe put some little like Easter egg in there of like 1987 in the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm cooking.
Like something about Black Monday, It's funny, the next business weekday that we have is actually Monday.
Stop it.
You love it, Parallax. You love it. You don't want to love it, but it's who you are. And I think what you need to know is like, as your friend, like I will support you, like whoever you are. You know what I mean? Like you can be yourself around me.
Money. I like to make a lot of money in a very short period of time.
Well, yeah, we all do, but like you're not a bull at heart, man. Like you are a fish in water when you're Parallax, like you are your best self. And that's true. Like some guys thrive as like bull market heroes. Some guys, they thrive in Black Monday fractals and like event guys, and like you can be yourself with me and I won't judge you for it, like you're
born to trade the most asymmetrically bullish asset class in history, doomed to be better at trading downtrends.
Dude, it's who you are. And we love you for it, Resident Parallax. And sometimes Bear Grid comes out. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Big Haggard is a bull at heart,
Yeah, it's kind of a
like you're there's no one better to have as like your bull market cheerleader than Big Haggard when like shit coins are pumping. It's the best,
It's been so long.
And the yin and yang, kind of like the dichotomy of you guys, the juxtaposition of like the inherent like character profiles for you two. They perfectly complement each other. Like when we pump, Big Haggard, like boys were pumping. When it's time to, 1987 it up, we have Parallax, and like you get everything here. You do. You absolutely get everything.
Yeah. Then you got Louis, you got Jackus, you got Prometheus.
You got Prometheus. He's kind of like Tommy in that way, where like I actually think he thrives a little bit more.
I do too.
Like plotting RSI divs at range highs, like that's when he thrives. Like he loves to see like a momentum divergence at range highs. Like you can tell he gets really excited.
Oh no, guys, I got it. Check this out.
Oh my goodness.
That's more Tommy.
Black Monday. The bloodshot eyes he's staring at you.
That's actually sweet. Are you guys still gonna stream when the bear market is here? Well, absolutely. I think very few remember that we actually started this business in the midst of the bear market. We started this business during down only, like straight down. Okay. So like we're actually a great time in the bear market. The vibes are way different. Everybody's kind of cynical and like aligned that it's over. And like the humor gets a lot darker and a little bit more self-deprecating. And yeah, absolutely, man. We're going to be here for a long time, but I don't think the bear market's here yet. I think it's a little early to call for that. I do. I think we got a little bit of time left, but yeah, no, we'll be here, man. We were born in the bear market, man. Some of you don't remember, like we were born in the bear market. That's our origin story,
Born in blood.
We were conceived in the darkness. You merely found it. We were born in it.
Raised in it.
Mm-hmm. Molded by it.
I learned about that that fight scene between Bane and Batman, the first one, that you can kind of see it in the movie. They apparently they couldn't hear each other at all. So to give each other signals on what to do next with the fights, they were doing very subtle hand signals that you can still see in the movie if you watch it back.
Why couldn't they hear each other?
I think it was the masks and wherever they were filming. They just couldn't hear each other.
That's interesting. Very interesting.
Where is Dr. Outlook?
I know. We need him.
Yeah, we do need him. He's still in the Discord.
Fatherless today.
Yeah, he's
What are his thoughts?
Will became such a valuable asset to the business that we paywalled him entirely. So no, he's working a normal job during the day. So unfortunately, he can't be on Market Check anymore. But maybe we'll have some surprise visits at some point.
Oh,
he's still in the Discord though.
Yeah, we will.
No, I do not pray for bad things to happen. You can just see it in the charts. Bad things that happen.
Just don't dance, okay?
Yeah, don't dance.
Yeah, just don't dance. Tommy, do you want to hop on Discord tonight with me and we can stream The Big Short to the Discord?
Movie night.
Great movie. I'm down for a movie night.
I think we should watch The Big Short as a community. And then we can pause it and have group discussions about what we're watching, make it very academic.
Here are all of your quizzes that you must complete before we resume the second half. Yeah. That would be now, good. What was Margot Robbie wearing in the bathtub scene?
Nothing.
No, the correct answer was bubbles.
All right, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's
Friday show. Tommy, tell them what they need to know about us.
All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream today all throughout the week. If you did and you're looking to catch Market Check, again, a reminder that we go live Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, typically starting around 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to tune in. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We did pull up soybeans at the beginning, so we technically did fulfill my promise, even though we didn't pull it up when I called you guys out for the like button. But also make sure to tune in for Market Talk hosted by the legendary King Wabi. His spaces have been absolutely packed here over the last week or so. With some really great guests. So make sure to stay following and subscribe to both Wabi's account as well as the Because Bitcoin account on X so you can be notified not just when we schedule those spaces, but of course also when we go live. Additionally, if you're looking for tools to be able to better tackle this market, we have rolled out some new things over the last few months, starting with the Volume Fusion Pro Discord. If you're looking for hourly time frame signals on things like Pepe, Solana, and Dogecoin, all you'll need to do is sign up for Blowfin using our referral link. You'll be given access to some of these alerts and more coming down the pipe. I keep making the joke that I can't say what we're doing behind the scenes, but it is exciting, guys. And we do plan on rolling out increasingly more signals through that Discord as time goes on. Lastly, we also have the BB terminal, guys. So if you're looking for something that can give you an edge on chain, make sure to check out the BB terminal. Our dev Ed has been absolutely kicking ass with our degen page, which we rolled out about, I think, probably 2.5 to 2 months ago. That much time already passed, man. I feel like in markets, it's just crazy how quickly time can fly. But I make that joke pretty much every week, so I won't waste any time making the joke today. But make sure to check that out, guys. Everything that I just mentioned linked in the description of this video below. But y'all have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning into Market Check today. We'll be back on Monday, like I said. And until then, stay safe.
Tired of outdated trading tools, confused charts, dozens of tabs, endless stress? You're not alone. Introducing BB Terminal, your all-in-one command center for crypto trading. Track your portfolio. Monitor the markets. Stay ahead, all in one place. From chaos to clarity, from struggle to success. BB Terminal.